Working Interferences is intended for mature audiences. Since the hosts never grew up, someone needs to be the adult.
I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Welcome to Working Interferences with Josh and Lance, the dental advice podcast for the average dentist. Here is Josh and Lance.
Raz, what is up? Welcome to the Working Interferences podcast, a dental advice show. I am Josh Wollaston.
And I am Lance Timmerman.
Lance, you've had some stuff going on, huh?
It's been a busy weekend. Yeah.
Tell me about it. What's happening? I heard there was some shit that hit the fan.
Yeah, so Holly famously likes to give me shit that anytime I go out of town, things hit the fan and it's up to her to manage and handle and deal.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. But it's not my fault. She's just not wrong.
Yeah. It's not like you planned it.
No, really did not. And what sucks is if there's a time difference. So this time I went to the Galler course in Raleigh, North Carolina, and fantastic time and everything. Although I'll admit I drank a lot of coffee because I was that morning hits you really quick.
Yeah, a little jet laggy.
Oh my God, I'm waking up at 3:30 my time to be there on time and all. Good program, well put together. Anybody gets a chance to go, they should go. Well, the weekend before that, Bianca and I had done some chores. It was kind of like, hey, mom's out of town. Holly did a little girls' weekend, and so hey, let's be nice and let's actually like do the dishes and clean the house and vacuum and all this kind of stuff. And the next day, Bianca was kind of saying, it kind of hurts. My shoulder hurts. Ooh. I'm like, okay, well, I don't remember lifting anything, but I did buy her an electric blanket. So maybe she was stretching to put the sheets on and all that kind of. And so she goes, Dad, am I really that out of shape that me just doing chores is going to hurt? And I'm like, I am.
No comment.
And then I get a text from her the next day, like at 4 a.m., saying, I'm in a lot of pain. And I'm like, you are really out of shape. What is wrong with you? So I'm like, later that day, she talks to me, or I come home from work. It's Monday, and she's just kind of saying, kind of describing it. And it really sounded like a strained intercostal. And I said, look, if it's still continuing or, tomorrow, then no, you need to see a professional. So on Tuesday, she said she was feeling a little bit better, good enough that she could go visit her boyfriend and hang out and everything. And I was leaving town the very next day. So as I'm heading to the airport, I get a message from her saying that she's, at work and in pain. And I said, okay, you need to go to urgent care as soon as you can. You're almost done with your work shift. Just go. And so she ends up going. Let me see if I can even remember the timing of this all. I just remember waking up at 2 a.m. to a text just kind of from Holly saying that she went to urgent care. And now she's in the hospital. Now Holly's not allowed in the back, that she's, being admitted and she's not allowed to see her. And I'm like.
And you're in Raleigh at this point.
I'm like, at first I had to reread it to make sure. Is she really, who's she talking about? Who's in the, because I was thinking my mom's in the hospital, but wait a minute. We weren't talking about my mom.
Yeah, it can't be your young daughter.
My 19-year-old daughter should be relatively,
Yeah.
So I finally get a hold of her. She had a blood clot, and it was in her lungs, and there's been some lung damage. They're testing to see if she had any heart damage. And I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck? Is this a side effect of, the Rona vaccine? Or where'd this come from? And, so then she says, oh, well, I did change medications, and they did say it's a blood clots were a side effect. I'm like, was anybody going to tell me that this was a side effect? And like, I could at least warn you of what that means. Because she says, by the time I get home, she says, yeah, it seems like everybody else is a lot more concerned than me, but I'm not all that concerned. I'm like, because you have no idea what the fuck is going on. I said, I'd even texted her.
Well.
I said, did they ever use the term pulmonary embolism? And they're like, oh, it doesn't sound familiar. But then when they got their discharge papers and looked it up, they're like, oh,
yeah,
it's right
on there.
I'm like, yeah, fuck.
It is kind of the family business. The Timmerman family business does seem to be blood clots.
Yeah. The heart and now so we're on competing blood thinners. I'm like, hey, look, I took Xarelto too.
So how long are we thinking that this is going to be a thing that she's on? Are we talking months? Are we talking
6 months?
Lifetime, years?
6 months for sure. And then she's been referred to a different specialist to determine some things. And she's already changing other medications that we now get to Google the shit out of medications.
But I just like how many times do you see a med and it gives all these crazy side effects that are like, all right, the chances of this ever fucking happening are nothing. But it's like I don't know as if I would dissuade. I don't know if I would stop taking a medication just because there was a risk of a blood clot. If it was like, what's the real risk here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's always a question. It was like, so is this just like bad luck where she just happens to be one of those 1 in 100 or 1 in 500 people that got this? Or is this like a med that's just like a menace to society?
It was one that her physician went, yeah, that's weird because you took this before and nothing happened. So, weird. Let's do this instead. It seems like if there should have been a better way to screen for, after 2 weeks, do you do a blood draw and check and see what's going on? We don't want to wait for that massive heart attack to say, oh, the Widowmaker.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But if it's 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 2,000, I don't know. Like that's such a hard thing. Yeah. So it's like the problem is like because of society being as litigious as it is, and every side effect being listed, that's made us tune out to like what are real fucking risks. You know what I mean? Because it's like you just hear all this shit, and it's like, well, I don't know. Like if you just thought about all that shit all the time, you would just be so paralyzed by fear you would never do anything. Yep. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. It's funny. You mentioned going to the Galler course. DeTolo went as well a few weeks ago, and I got a text from him this week asking me if I use the AACA, the American Academy of Clear Aligners, if I use their consent form. And I do. I'm a member, so I just, for every Invisalign start I have, I download that consent form from their website and sign it. And he was saying that consent form for the AACA consent form for aligners is longer and more detailed than the consent form that he signed when he had his labrum repaired, like surgically under general anesthesia. So it's like, we're so used to just like, we get these forms, we get these consent forms, we get these side effects lists, and it's just like
look at.
It's also medical legally written that you just tune out. You just don't even look at it.
It's the end user license agreement, the EULA. At the end of you updated your iPhone. You're not reading that shit. You just say, I accept. Yeah.
So it's I would be hesitant to put blame on her for like not doing her due diligence because
I just wonder.
You know what I mean? Like,
was it inevitable? This is what we do. We just wait for the clot, or is there a test that she should have done?
Yeah. I don't know. That's what's hard to know now, just because everything has just gone down this fucking rabbit hole of like the commercial for Claritin lists 57 things that people have reported or whatever. And so it's just, you just fucking tune it out. What's funny is like we tune out all those risks. We tune out the risks of getting behind the driver's seat of a vehicle, of operating a motor vehicle, of, all those like normal daily things. And yet we cannot like close our mind or close our eyes and turn our minds away from the risks of COVID, right? Like we're just fucking buried in that risk, right? But like everything else is like, what? Like 4-hour penis erections. Fuck that. That'll never happen. You know, like, and next thing you know, it's like, all right, well, maybe those are the same odds of you getting COVID and getting those 4-hour erection from Viagra. So I don't know. It's one of those things like it could have just been shit luck. You know what I mean? Could have just been shit luck. Shit luck happens, and hopefully this is something that she heals from. And sorry you had to deal with that. There's nothing worse than being helpless when you're, an entire continental United States away from home when stuff like that's going down. That's a real shitty hopeless feeling. Hopeless feeling, for sure. So you enjoyed Gala?
I did. It was really fun. Again, I got to run into somebody who is a listener, and
You always run into I never run into listeners.
Shout out to Chris Port there in Charlotte, I believe.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, and in fact, he was a few episodes behind, and actually so were we. And so he was listening.
Yeah.
He was literally listening to the episode where I said, yeah, I'm going to go to Galler in a few weeks. And then
Nice.
he walks in, and there I am.
There you are. Yeah. It's I remember when I sat down at that course, it's called Reengage, quote unquote, the course that changes everything. And I bruised the back of my eyes because I rolled my eyes so hard. Like, I've been so oversold that bullshit before, right?
Yeah.
Like, this course will make you $150,000. It's like, you should bill $26 for an occlusal equilibration every time you adjust bite or some stupid bullshit like that. Within the first 30 or 45 minutes, I was like, holy fuck, this changes everything. I know nothing about ortho or Invisalign. Fuck.
Yeah, it definitely got me thinking, because I was one of those assholes that a few years ago, I was doing Invisalign, 10, 15 years ago, doing Invisalign, and they decided that everybody had to recertify, and you had to have a certain number of cases per year, or they were just going to kick you out. So, like the asshole.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore.
Well, like the asshole that I am, I said, fuck you. And I went and got trained in 6 Month Smiles and hadn't done an Invisalign since. And then 6 Month Smiles started doing their own aligner version. And it just isn't the same. And so
the ClinCheck's way better. The Galler engine is amazing. And just the plastic is better and more predictable. And so
I had to spend my lunch hour recertifying today to make sure I'm totally current and ready to go. But I contacted my marketing guy and said, okay, the message is 100% Invisalign. We're promoting this, like whatever. Everybody's going to know.
How quickly into day one in the morning, and keep in mind, this class is being held like at the Align facility in Raleigh-Durham. How quickly in morning one did he say fuck in the lecture?
Faster than me, which is amazing.
Like within the first half hour,
yeah.
I've said fuck on stage at a lecture one time, and that was at VOD last year. It's like the only place I would ever say it. He said it literally 64 times in 2 days in the Align facility, which is just like fucking balls of steel. Balls of steel.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, and he is obviously very talented at Invisalign, and I feel fortunate to have taken that class because I was basically a zero provider before. Yeah. Now I took it in April, and I am now like 3 cases to gold.
Nice.
So, he's just unbelievable. So, and I still use a lot. Shouts out when you join AACA, there's one of the features that's called the ClinCheck Cowgirls, and there's one of those Dr. Ranta who I use for tough ClinChecks. You pay her $150. She basically does the ClinCheck for you, and then sends you a video like explaining why she did what she did, so you get to learn something from it, and then you just like click submit. And so I've probably done that about 4 times on like tough cases where I looked at, I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do here.
Nice.
And it's always worked out well. So I highly recommend that. You have to be a member of AACA to do it. It costs $150. You basically just create a login for her on your ClinCheck, and then you just tell her like what the patient number is, whatever. She'll log in. She'll do all the changes and all
awesome.
that. And
I joined AACA on my phone while Galler was listening.
While there. Yeah. I did too. You kind of have to because that's the only way to get the Galler engine is you got to be an AACA member. But it ends up paying for itself pretty quickly with the discounts on like the discs for the Ghost IPR system, on your discounts for Munchies, on your discounts for Quick Strips, and all that bullshit that like you're going to buy because you went to that course. Like the AACA you'll pay for it like just in the initial purchasing of that stuff generally. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great class. Are you doing anything for Thanksgiving?
It's been a big debate, and it changes by the hour. So, my folks are basically shut-ins at this point, and at one point they were just going to order a bucket of chicken from Kentucky Fried and hang out, but so we decided not. We overruled that. We're taking everything we were going to do here, and in fact, I was at Safeway buying all the stuff, and I had to leave just a little bit early so we could be doing this. So we're going to be taking it all to the folks so that they're not just sitting around staring at the football games and eating KFC. And we're We're taking all of our friends that were going to come over here. They're going there now.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Good. Hopefully, you can do better than KFC.
We should be able to. Yeah.
I know that Thanksgiving's not your favorite holiday.
Not my favorite, but I've had some good holidays more recently.
Good. That's good to hear. The Seahawks are not
Thank
playing
God.
on Thanksgiving. Is that right?
They
All right.
better
Good.
not. Jesus.
Lance, this is an advice show.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
What am I doing? Typical family shit. Andrew's family came in today, and then I'm working stupidly. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I'm working a half day tomorrow, like a dumbass.
I'm like, wait, the day is still open? Who left this open? God damn it.
It always sounds like a good idea when I was like, yeah, I put some high production in there. It'll be fine. And then, like, as we get to the week, I'm like, fuck, why did I decide to do that?
And then they all cancel on you anyway. The high production's gone.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then my sister will cook most of the stuff.
Cook? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It turns out good, and like fry the turkey and all that bullshit. And then we have all the dessert, all the pies are catered by our friends Nacho and Susanna at Delice Chocolatier and Bakery.
Nice.
So I got to go pick those bad boys up tomorrow, which is one of my favorite things to do. Because their pies are just unbelievable. And so it's like Andrew and I used to bake the pies, and it's just like,
why?
It's like setting your own denture teeth.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, it's shittier, and it's taken a bunch of time, and the fucking office is now a mess. And it would have it just ends up better.
Absolutely.
And so it's like this is basically the culinary version of that.
Gotcha.
If they weren't so damn good at their pies, then I would have no problem like making a pumpkin pie or making a pecan pie or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not only those, like the traditional ones. They also do this banana dulce de leche pie. That's, oh my fucking God, Lance, is literally the best goddamn thing I've ever eaten in my life. So it's like, there's some non-traditional stuff as well. And so we usually order like 5 or 6 pies from them. And, it's just a pie bukkake, a cream pie of pies.
Nice. You have me at bukkake.
This is an advice show. We answer your questions. We answer questions we find in all those neat little dental Facebook groups. We answer questions from Reddit. We answer questions tonight from something called WikiHow. We strive to help dentists and dental team members with our own unique brand of advice. So please, we need your questions. They are the sustenance we crave. You can submit your questions to workinginterferences@gmail.com. And we don't want just any question, do we, Lance?
Fuck no.
We don't want a bunch of boring questions like, what's the best Thanksgiving dish? Because we all know that sliced cranberry jello from the can is the greatest Thanksgiving dish of all time. We went to questions that Gordon Christensen cannot answer. I will guarantee you that Gordon likes that shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That like sliced can stuff.
Of course.
That is like his fucking, I know. That is like old man heaven, that bullshit. All right, so question 1 is from a website called the WikiHow. And so how I found WikiHow was, our favorite podcast, My Brother and Me, they used to get questions from Yahoo Answers, but Yahoo Answers shut down. So they have had to find places from find things from other websites. And so one of the ones that they've been doing stuff from was a website called WikiHow. And so I went to look on it to see if there's anything dental, and I found this just beautiful article entitled, How to Heal Dental Cavities Naturally.
Okay.
So I thought we could go through this and comment.
Okay.
Method 1, get more vitamin D. Long known to be beneficial for general bone health, vitamin D boosts your calcium metabolism and helps your body produce calecithin, which is an antimicrobial peptide that attacks bacteria known to cause dental cavities. Vitamin D is fat soluble, and that is not easily available through your diet, although fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and tuna. Isn't mackerel a rapper from Seattle? What's that guy's name?
Macklemore.
Macklemore. He's trying to get some vitamin D. Are an excellent source of the vitamin. Instead, get plenty of sunshine. That you can't wear sunscreen. It still metabolize vitamin D, so limit your time to a maximum of 15 to 30 minutes a session. During the winter months when sun exposure may be less available to you, you can also take vitamin D supplements. How do you feel about vitamin D to heal cavities, Lance?
Oh, well, I think it's full bullshit. So that's a big no for me, Bob.
I've got a vitamin D that might heal some cavities. And it's not
I like
anything
to
you
fill
get
some
from
cavities
the fucking
with
sun.
the big D.
With vitamin
Yeah.
D. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start calling it. I'm going to get a fucking tattoo. It's like just across my dick that just says vitamin D. Consume more foods that contain vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is a naturally occurring compound similar to vitamin K that is integral in development of facial bones, including your teeth. Since when are teeth bones?
That's what is that a new thing? I keep hearing people saying that they're bones, and I'm like, never. No, they're not.
As it is generally lacking in modern diets, making a concerted effort to increase your intake may help your cavities heal naturally. Vitamin K2 is naturally found in fermented foods and other animal products such as animal innards, especially crab and lobster.
Oh, God.
Skate liver oil or bone marrow. Out of those three, the only one that is like even halfway appetizing is bone marrow, and that's not even for everybody.
Right.
And that's like osobuco is like one of those like, yeah, that's not an everyday thing.
Right.
We're not eating that all the time.
No. When done well, love it. Yeah.
So be sure to eat those crab innards, Lance.
I like it on my.
Maybe that's what the problem is.
I need some crab innards
Like,
on my
wouldn't it be-
crackers and toast.
Wouldn't it be crazy if that's like, and just no one ever eats it, so we've just never figured it out. 3, try fermented cod liver oil to get those fatty acids. Some studies suggest that cavities occur in part due to lack of fatty vitamins in modern diets. Do they? The fact that this fish oil is fermented rather than distilled means that it's still chock full of vitamins D and A, but both integral to remineralization of your teeth. I don't think any of that is true. If you can't get or don't want to try fermented cod liver oil, you can add more vitamin A to your diet by eating large amounts of chicken liver or goat cheese or drinking whole milk. Keep in mind that it will take 2 ounces of liver, 17 ounces of goat cheese, Jesus Christ, or 2 gallons of milk, of whole milk, to equal just 1 teaspoon of fermented cod liver oil. Likewise, you can add more vitamin D to your diet by eating large amounts of salmon, eggs, and again, drinking whole milk. To equal the amount of vitamin D in 1 teaspoon of fermented cod liver oil, you'll need to eat 18 ounces of salmon, 5 dozen eggs, and 21 gallons of whole milk. So, even if this works, you are now 400 pounds. Just FYI.
And blown it out your
No
ass.
cavities. No cavities, but you are buying an entirely new fat boy wardrobe.
Jesus Christ.
People are dumb. Number 4, consume foods high in calcium. Calcium helps strengthen teeth. So increase your calcium servings. The easiest way to do that is to consume more dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt. Calcium can help remineralize your teeth. If you can, try eating cheese. Cheese helps stimulate saliva, which in turn restores minerals to teeth and washes away remaining food particles. I don't disagree with that. And let's be honest, cheese is fucking amazing. So yeah, eat more cheese. Try eating cheese, Lance.
I mean, I love to eat cheese. I'm a big
Yeah, I've tried eating cheese a lot, Lance.
j'aime le fromage. Okay, get it? But I don't do it for my teeth.
Number 5, use mineralizing toothpaste. This sounds good. This sounds promising.
That seems more on track.
You can buy fluoride-free toothpaste. Like, all right.
Well, wait.
Okay, well,
Just fucked it up.
there we are. Immediately derail. You can buy fluoride-free toothpaste that can also help remineralize the teeth and make them stronger. Note that these toothpastes may be more expensive than your usual brand. You can also make your own mineralizing toothpaste if you want to save some money. Combine 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of xylitol, or in a pinch, stevia, 20 drops of peppermint oil, and 20 drops of trace minerals or calcium/magnesium powder. We were good at use mineralizing toothpaste like Prevident 5000.
There you go.
That's what we had to. All we had to do is stop there. Here we go. 6. monitor the healing process. When you have a cavity, bacteria and acid will stain your tooth. Variations in color indicates the extent of the damage. A darker color means a larger cavity. When you are working to heal a cavity, check back to see if you notice a change in tooth color. In addition, consider the sensation or pain. If the pain seems to be changing from long-lasting throbbing pain to more incidental pain or sensitivity to just hot and cold foods, the cavity may be improving.
Or necrotic.
However, if the pain intensifies, you should consult your dentist for treatment, which you should have
You're a little
fucking done
late.
before step 1. Note any food impaction. When a tooth fractures, food can get stuck inside the cavity. This creates a wedging effect, causing discomfort and sensitivity. In addition, it can greatly impair the healing process. Yeah. Watch for fractures. Depending on the size of your original cavity, your cavity-filled tooth may be significantly weaker than a normal healthy one. If you're opting not to get dental treatment, be especially aware of this.
If you're opting not to get some dental care, you don't deserve your tooth.
Yep. Then it goes into method 2, which is preventing cavities. And I'm not going to read all of these, but step 1 is brush your teeth.
Okay.
Good start. Step 2, floss your teeth.
Sure.
Great start.
Sounds good.
Step 3, use fluoride. Here we go. Yeah. Fluoride in toothpaste and dental rinses replace the calcium component in hydroxyapatite with fluorapatite, a substance that is resistant to demineralization by acids and therefore helps prevent cavities. Fluoride in toothpaste helps strengthen enamel. Fluoride can also help the process of preventing cavities because it is antimicrobial, killing off oral bacteria that are the underlying cause of cavities. Although some research has expressed concern over the use of fluoride, the 2007 National Research Council indicated that fluoride is an essential mineral and is healthy and necessary for tooth and bone structure. You can also use a special toothpaste meant to rebuild enamel, such as Squiggle Enamel Saver toothpaste, with fluoride. I'm not familiar with Squiggle.
I am unfamiliar with Squiggle.
That's got to be British, maybe? This sounds British.
Jeez.
Let's check this out. I got to find out. I got to know where Squiggle is from. Squiggle is a brand. There's squiggle.com, which would mean that it is a American site. Literally a GeoCities type website if you go to squiggle.com.
Copyright.
Are you at squiggle.com?
1998 to 2009.
Which I think 1998 was the year this website was built.
It looks like it.
This was like their third grader had a project for computer science class to build a website, and this is the website that they're using for their business. Since 1998, Squiggle has been making the world's best toothpaste. I've yet to hear that good news, Lance. Squiggle, to soothe and prevent canker sores and mouth ulcers. We are now offering Tooth Builder toothpaste for relief from sensitive teeth.
It's made in the USA. It's vegan and free of gluten, dairy, and soy.
I think most toothpaste would be all of those.
I would think.
In recent years, Squiggle toothpaste has been judged to be the 6th most popular toothpaste on the internet. That is shooting for the fucking backyard. That's not shooting for the moon. That's not shooting for the stars. That's shooting for Uncle Dale's woodshed in the backyard. Is what that is shooting for. Those are low goals, Lance. Low goals. It looks like Squiggle does not have SLS, and it does have 36% xylitol, which I do think will make you shit your pants. That is a lot of sugar alcohol.
Before you even spit, you're shitting.
that is going to produce some runny stools.
Just 10%
that
more
is what
anal
the name
leakage.
Squiggle is from.
Yeah.
Squiggle is the move you're going to make when you need to get to the toilet quickly.
Squiggle is the mark in your underwear after you had this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a wild website. That is. Are you drinking kombucha?
I am not. I am Favoritos Pina flavor.
Is that like a Mexican soda?
Yeah. Today is Taco Tuesday, so
Nice.
I picked that up with the tacos.
Nice. Yeah. So that's WikiHow.
Wow.
Wait. There's still some more.
Oh.
Cut back on snacking and sipping. All right.
Okay. Sure.
Reduce your intakes of carbs and sugar. Yep. Eat only certain fresh fruits. Chew every bite completely.
Okay.
Consider limiting phytic acid. I don't know what
I'm
this
not
means.
familiar.
There are some who recommend that you minimize foods that contain phytic acid, such as beans and legumes, on the basis of the idea that phytic acid prevents absorptions of minerals. Phytic acid does bind minerals, but some of those minerals are released by cooking or by soaking the beans and legumes in water prior to cooking and in the acid environment of your stomach. I've literally never heard any of those words used together.
No.
Take a mineral supplement. Again, a mineral supplement is not going to fucking help your teeth. Get enough vitamin D. Again, apart from like, I don't know, maybe if you had horrible rickets, you might get more perio. I don't know.
Maybe. Just grow a new follicle.
I've never had a patient with rickets.
I think you need a follicle. Start with a follicle. Because you're not...
Drink lots of water, particularly fluoridated water. Okay. Use
Well, it's
herbs
interesting
to prevent...
one of the first things was make sure you use toothpaste without fluoride, but now they're recommending all this fluoride.
Yep. Use herbs to prevent cavities. Antibacterial herbs can be used to help control the bacteria in your mouth and prevent their growth. Some of the most effective antibacterial herbs include clove, thyme, golden seal, Oregon grape root, and oregano. You can make concentrated teas using any of these herbs or dilute them to use as a mouthwash. Fuck. You're making your own fucking tea. Come on. Consult your dentist when you have a cavity. See a dentist regularly for checkup and cleanings. Call your dentist emergency number if you have severe symptoms.
Not mine. I'm not answering.
It's just a 1-900 number. Hey, lover. Are you calling about that dental
Are
emergency?
you looking for the D?
For only $3.99 a minute, you can get all the hot, exotic
Legumes.
dental advice you need, like getting enough vitamin D or not eating legumes. So that's WikiHow. Kind of a waste of time.
I am not impressed.
Yeah, no, not good. But 83% of readers found that helpful.
Really?
And this is one of the comments from user David King. David King says, eating healthy is awesome. It helps you live longer and gets a better mind. Oh, thanks so much, David. That's great insight.
This makes me sad.
WikiHow. Wicca.
How?
Question 2. Is that question 1? Was that question 2? Whatever you're going to say. From the subreddit of Ask Dennis, Reddit user Sour Money Tastes Good says, did my dentist do something of poor practice or a money grab? Details below. I had a large root canal booked. To my understanding, the appointment was from 10:20 a.m. to 1 p.m. The dentist gave me gas at a $280 fee because I have a lot of anxiety, and the needle for the nerve in the bottom back is extremely painful. I was 20 minutes late before I forgot my credit card and had to turn around, so I got there at 10:40 a.m. I get the needles. It's freaking awful, even with the gas. She explains to me that she has to go slow so that her tool doesn't break in the nerve of the tooth as she is filing it out. She ended up only doing a pulpectomy and booking me to come in again to finish the root canal and then back 2 weeks later to fit the crown. I will need to have the terrible needles again and pay for gas again, but mostly I'm upset because she left my tooth open with a filling and one little side wall of tooth on the outside. It's like a crater, but missing parts of my tooth. I'm eating only on the left and being careful, but this just seems like I could be putting my tooth at risk for breaking or getting more infected. I'm not the doctor. It just seems odd, not in my best interest, and a money grab. I respect my dentist and just want my tooth to be healthy. I worked 60-hour weeks for 5 months to save up for this. Dennis, what do you think?
Fuck you, you piece of tardy shit. Be on time. You're lucky that they even tried to get you done in a single fucking visit.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I prefer to, half the time it's 2 visit. When I was doing endo, it was 2 visit. I wanted to put the calcium hydroxide in there, let everything calm down, but it maybe
pretty common practice too, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of dentists that, or a lot of endodontists, I'm sorry, that really will only do 2 visits. And most endodontists may not do 2 all the time, but will always do 2 if there's a necrotic pulp involved.
Exactly. So I usually wasn't doing single visit, but if the conditions were right, I was doing a single visit endo. But the fact that you're 20 minutes late. You're lucky that you even.
No. They were 40 minutes late,
okay.
Lance. They were 20 minutes late when they realized they forgot their credit card. That then made them another 20 minutes late, so they were actually 40 minutes late.
You're lucky I didn't even see you if you're 40 minutes late. I make you rebook just to teach you a lesson or something. I just, fuck that. And then to think that it's a money grab, they're going to make so much money on charging nitrous a second time. I guarantee you, if they booked it out, they were planning on single visit, they're losing money on it because you have to see it twice.
Anytime a dentist takes anytime a GP takes more than one visit on an endo, you probably break even on it, if not lose money, versus like if you were using that time to prep a crown.
Yeah. So this person's trying to do their best for this patient's, and
Right.
they're shitting on them on the internet.
They're getting accused of as poor practice and a money grab.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being accused of that by somebody who's 40 minutes late?
Oh, I just lose my shit. Jesus.
There's a follow-up post. Sorry for the errors. Also, I left the office at 12:30 because she said she didn't have enough time to finish. So is it my fault because I was 20 minutes late? Bro, you were 40 minutes late. This is, and I quote, I was 20 minutes late before I forgot my credit card and had to turn around. So I got there at 10:40.
Yeah. It's not your fault that yes, fuck you, you're late.
No matter what.
If I allotted 60 minutes and then you come in, you only give me 45 minutes, then something's got to give.
Right. The other thing is this, like, how many times have you gone into a tooth that, let's say a molar, right, which I'm assuming this was, and you will find one of the canals is necrotic, like just dead as a doornail, and two of the canals are like super hyperemic and inflamed.
Yeah.
That changes the whole deal because that tooth tests positive to cold and probably lingering and all that stuff. But then you get in there and now you have a big necrotic canal you've got to deal with as well. And so it's just like, there's never like a promise or a guarantee. Like that time is, you just never know, especially in endo, you never know what you're going to find when you get in there.
Yeah.
And she's right. Like you do have to go slow. You can't just speed your way through, especially on a necrotic tooth, through instrumentation. You're going to break a file. You're going to separate a file. You're going to ledge. You're going to perf. You're going to do all that.
Yeah.
And only bad things happen when you try to rush your way through
Absolutely.
endo. So don't force somebody to rush their way through endo.
Yeah.
And, I hate to victim blame. I don't want to make...
And yet...
But like... they're using the gas to make it easier for you and your phobia. This isn't for her or for the. I think they said she.
Yeah, trust me, I fucking hate.
This isn't for her.
I hate when they're on gas. The nose thing's in my way. I can't see.
Yeah, but don't throw that shit back on me. Don't. That's not. I'm not doing this for me. We're doing this for you. It's in my way. Like it's a pain in my ass. It adds 15 minutes to get you inducted and get you going. And even then, like, I had somebody on Monday that I was doing fills on that was on nitrous that was like, I thought I was going to be out. Like you thought you were going to be out like the operating room? Like, yeah, I thought I was going to be like count back from 100 and be like, and then you think I was going to let you drive home after that? Well, I thought you could bring it back. Like this like takes the edge off, bro. This isn't we're not snorting ketamine in my operatory. Like this is just to like make it a little bit easier for you, but don't fucking throw that on me. This isn't, we're not doing this for me. The nitrous is for you. And nitrous isn't free. It's not like it's in the fucking atmosphere.
Right.
Like we have to pay for it.
They don't just donate
and we
tanks.
have machines we have to pay for. And there's disposables involved with it. And there's monitoring and consent forms and certifications and all of that shit. That shit costs money. That shit costs money. And so like, oh, I'm just trying to like bang you on another nitrous fee because that's what puts fucking food on my on my table.
Yep.
Is that $200 nitrous fee. that is basically all gone when you account the fact of the cost of the machinery, the nitrous itself, the time that it takes, and the disposables involved. I just don't throw that shit on me. Like that is to address your problem, not mine. And also, you're the fucking one that needs endo, bro. It's not me. I didn't do that to your tooth.
Yeah.
So again,
Probably should have brushed your damn teeth when you were younger
yeah, these are all fucking
with vitamin D and clove.
and
and
what was it,
legumes.
fermented cod liver oil.
Yeah.
Fuck the legumes. I guarantee you, fermented cod liver oil does sound like some shit that like is going to get real popular, like as a after dinner shot or something like that, and it's going to come from Seattle. I know, like all that, like kombucha, fucking comes from Seattle. All like I'm pretty sure wheatgrass came from Seattle. Like just all.
I'll go to Pike Place Market this weekend and see if there's any.
There's somebody there that's
liver.
selling, artisan. They're like making in their fucking garage, like in a Home Depot bucket.
Hell yeah.
And this is that shit has Seattle all over it. That is like as Seattle as possible. Yeah, I mean let's look at some other posts here on what is this? Sour money tastes good, which is a good one. This is your only post ever.
Oh, okay.
So this is probably a burner, although they did make some comments on a post in mildly interesting. And this, in mildly interesting, Reddit user Tapioca Void says, I made a little tower with my vitamins and ADHD meds, and I actually balanced a pill on top. And it's just a stack of pills, but there's like a capsule that's balanced on its end on top. And our guy, or I guess our person here, Sour Money Tastes Good, just commented, dildo, ? This is from the subreddit of Ottawa. Somebody asked, which restaurant cafe in Ottawa would you never return to and why? Sour Money Tastes Good says, I worked at the Canal Ritz and they served moldy mold covered cheesecake after they reopened after lockdown. I walked out. Doesn't seem like a very Ritz thing to do.
It sounds unritzy.
Very unritzy. Putting on the Ritz. And then in the subreddit of Ottawa, found lost phone. Sour Money Tastes Good says, is it a smashed white iPhone with a flower case? So apparently lost a smashed white iPhone with a flower case.
Okay.
Probably smashed it on the way when they were late.
That's why they were late.
Their root canal. Yeah. This is first things first. Don't be late.
Yeah.
Don't be 40 minutes late.
Yeah.
And expect to get like amazingly great service, because it just but then to accuse them of a money grab is a particularly tough look.
Yeah.
A money grab would be charging a late fee on top of
right. And
of
for more endo, like because it's an extra endo visit, we charge another. That would be a money grab.
Yeah.
But the gas fee, fuck you.
Do you have nitrous in your office?
I do.
Yeah, and is it? Whenever I hear it rolling down the hallway, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I got it piped through each op, so nothing's rolling.
Oh, nice.
But I fucking hate when they say, "Oh, they're doing nitrous." Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it just adds 15 minutes on everything.
Yeah,
it adds 15 minutes on everything. And have you ever been on nitrous?
Do
you like it?
No. I mean, it's not something I would ever recreationally go for.
Yeah, so I was talking to Alan Mead about it, and he was saying that a lot of dentists, a lot of like addicts, will hit the nitrous pretty hard because it's like a quick and easy, like somewhat facsimile to a like opiate feeling. But I've only ever been on it once. I was in dental school, like on our lab where we put each other on it and tried it. And I never felt anything. And I was up to 70%. And I never really felt.
There probably was a leak there because, no, when it's on.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been bullshit. Like, I mean, like this was the first time we had ever done it.
Yeah.
So something may not have been hooked up right. But I didn't notice any. I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, I got the double whammy. In dental school, I volunteered to be the demo boy. So they put me down as they're showing how the thing worked.
Sit down, demo boy.
And then when it was all over with, Fred's like, hey, well, I got to see how it works. So I got to go back down on it. Apparently, when it was my turn to actually administer, well, Demo Boy didn't watch anybody demo, so he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, Demo Boy was high as shit.
Apparently, I broke the regulator, and Fred was on like 80%, and he's foaming at the mouth, and the instructor comes over, not supposed to do this. And I'm like, Fred, when he was done, he's like, hey, on a calendar, and it goes from Thursday to Friday, and there's that black line. I was there. I'm like, okay.
That's funny. Wasn't that an Avril Lavigne song? He's just a demo boy. He said,
see ya.
Write a memo, boy. I said he's good enough for me.
Yeah. That was the B-side.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a B. What happened to Avril Lavigne?
Well, she died, and they had a clone take her spot.
I have heard that.
It's actually,
that is a conspiracy theory.
Have you ever watched like the YouTube videos where they explain it? It's kind of interesting.
No. I haven't gone down that deep.
Bianca was
down the rabbit hole.
Bianca was a big fan of the whole thing, and so she was trying to explain it to me, and then she founded the YouTube video and made me watch with her, and I'm like, well, okay.
I love how they spell Skater Boy.
Yeah.
SK8R and then the BOI. Just you know. It could be boy, BOY, but no. We got to change it up. Skater Boy.
Yeah.
Did we ever figure out, is this like a You're So Vain by who is that?
Carly Simon?
Barbara Mandrell. Carly Simon. Where like we never knew who the person it was written about was, right?
Right.
Do we know who the Skater Boy was? Who was the Skater Boy?
I don't know.
And did she actually say "See you later, boy"? It had to have been one of the Jonas Brothers, right? Weren't they a thing? Okay. Am I mixing my teen things up?
You could be, but you might be right.
Let's check this out. Who was?
Because it can't be Tony Hawk, right?
Who was Skater Boy about? No, that would be pedophilia. I'm pretty sure. Because Tony Hawk is like 45 and she's like 15. Yeah. All right, there is an actual Wikipedia entry for Skater Boy. Skater Boy is a song by Canadian singer-songwriter Avril Lavigne, released as a second single from her debut album Let Go, 2002. Written by Lavigne and The Matrix, produced by The Matrix. The song is a pop-punk track which lyrically tells a story from the singer's point of view about her rocker boyfriend and a girl he knew in high school who rejected him because he was a skateboarder and she was a snob. All right, so I just got who the fuck was Skater Boy? I got to know. Was nominated for a Grammy.
Really?
Well, Avril Lavigne was. No, Skater Boy was nominated for a Grammy for Best Female Rock Vocal Performance. Crazy. Who was Skater Boy? That seems like a basic thing. Let's see here. This is, again, one of my favorite segments of the show, which is just where we
you start reading
Google shit. I guess we don't know. We don't know who Skater Boy was. Oh, this is interesting. Most of Avril's songs from this area were about real-life situation culled from her personal experience. In this song, it is apparent that the Skater Boy is, in fact, Avril herself, and she has merely swapped the gender to hide the fact that the Skater Boy experience is hers. That is fucking mind-blowing, Lance. This is like Kennedy-level bullshit right here. This is like real conspiracy theory stuff. Wow.
This is before
Skater Boy?
Before she married Chad Kroger, so
is he heir to the Kroger grocery store fortune?
No, but he's the lead singer of Nickelback.
Oh, okay. She married the guy from Nickelback?
I think after
Are they still married?
I think she was married or dated the lead singer of Sum 41. When then that failed,
Jesus
she went to
Christ.
Chad.
This is so 90s. This is so 1999. Oh my God.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
I just love the fact. I love the idea that Skater Boy is Avril.
Yeah. Well,
This is my mind is blown. This is not something I expected to learn tonight.
well, we got to find out. Well, any listeners know, please write in. Let us know.
I feel like Clint's going to know something.
Yeah.
This feels like Clint, like in high school, listening to Skater Boy.
I have a feeling Clint knows very well.
Yeah, I have a feeling like Clint had like a Avril Lavigne poster that he got at fucking Hot Topic or something on his wall. Does she? I just would guess she looks like just a normal person now, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Or do you think she still has like this look, and she's just like 40 with this look?
Yeah, I don't know. I could see her looking Avril-ish.
Oh no, she looks like she kind of looks like a soccer mom with heavy eyeliner.
Okay.
I mean, you can tell it's Avril Lavigne, but it's kind of like at the end of Harry Potter where they just like made them look old. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like they took Avril Lavigne at 18 and then just like, oh, this is what she'll look like as, you know, let's put makeup on to make her look like she's 38, and that's kind of what that's exactly what she kind of turned out like, which is weird. How old is she now? Did not expect to spend 20 minutes talking about Avril Lavigne tonight. Got to tell you.
You never know. That's the kind of show we are. We'll go on those deep tangents.
Avril Lavigne. You got it for the G is silent.
Right.
You got to remember the G is silent in Lavigne.
That's right.
She's 37 years old. She's from Belleville, Canada. Is that close to you?
I don't think so.
She was married to Chad Kroeger, 2013 to 2015. That is, I feel like that's in the Nickelback hate time period.
Oh yeah.
How are you married to this fucking guy like while everyone else is like, oh, they fuck this band?
Yeah, they're Canadian. They're just nice folks.
Fucking Canadians. She was also married to somebody named Derek Whibley
From Sum 41.
and his name is Busy D.
That I don't know.
Okay, yeah, he was in Sum 41. I guess he still is in Sum 41. I don't know. He's 4 feet tall.
He ain't big.
Something. He's not a big guy. Not a big guy. Well, this has been 2001 Rock Corner. Hope you enjoyed. Lance, that's going to do it for tonight.
I think it should.
It needs to. Do you know anybody that loves Avril Lavigne?
Besides Clint?
And your daughter?
And my daughter? Both of them, actually.
Make sure to tell them about the show. That's how we grow the show, one new Skater Boy at a time. What's your favorite number? How many times do you like to listen to Skater Boy in a row?
Big fan of 5.
Yeah, 5 times in a row is the right number. Hit us up with a 5-star rating. Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify for flicking through Podbean. Flick 5 stars. Hit us up on the web, workinginterferences.com. Hit us up on all the social bullshits. Facebook, Working Interferences with Josh and Lance. Funny shit for dentists and dental team members. Twitter at Winterferences. Instagram at Winterferences. Lance can be found on Instagram at Dear Timmerman DMD. I can be found on Instagram at Joshua Austin DDS. Smash that follow button. Whose turn is it for a song? I don't even remember.
That's you.
Is it me? So speaking of 90s rock, we watched a documentary on Sunday on HBO Max called Jagged. It was about Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill.
Okay.
And how it basically came out of nowhere and became the biggest rock album of basically the decade.
Yeah.
It's like when you think of rock albums of the decade, it is Nevermind by Nirvana, Versus by Pearl Jam, and Jagged Little Pill. Like those are the 3. And like maybe 4 would be What's the Story, Morning Glory by Oasis. Okay. Like, but it's like, that's like, we're talking like the upper echelon of like greatest albums of the decade, not just in sales, but like I would say in musical impact as well. And so the documentary sort of highlights Alanis from really a child TV star, which is what she was. She was on Nickelodeon TV show called You Can't Do That on Television as a like adolescent, like kind of pre-teenage.
Gotcha.
And then through like a teenage music star, kind of like a Debbie Gibson or a Tiffany.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like a bubblegum pop artist in Canada. And then at some point, like around 16, starts writing these songs that are on Jagged Little Pill. And so then it kind of chronicles that along with the tour in 1996 for Jagged Little Pill. And just the level of fame. And one of the statistics that was in the documentary was that 1 out of every 10 Americans in 1995 owned Jagged Little Pill.
Wow.
That is like mystifying today to like think back on that, right? Like, I mean, obviously everything's so fragmented now that we'll never have anything like that again. But that is just a staggering number. 1 out of every 10 people in this country owned that album.
That's pretty amazing.
And that was like at the time, like you couldn't download it. You couldn't just one-click it. Whatever. You had to go to a fucking store and buy it and unwrap it. And like, I mean, it was work. It was a deal, right? You had to want it. And it just starts going through, they basically kind of go through a lot of the songs in the album, and the lyrics are amazing. The music's amazing. It still holds up. It's still really fucking good.
Wow.
And, ironically, my favorite Alanis Morissette song is not even on that album, although it's great. And I mean, that album is unassailable. It's fucking perfect. But my favorite Alanis Morissette song is on her next album, which is called, it's got a funny name. Hold on. Let me find it. So it was the follow-up album, right? Which is like an impossible task.
Right.
Like to follow up that album is just like, how is that ever, like, how are you ever going to do it? So in 2002, she came out with an album called Under Rug Swept. And so that was, that was 7 years after,
Wow.
So, it's a much different album. Everyone is expecting, I Want to Know Part 2, or You Ought to Know Part 2. But there's a song in there called Hands Clean, which is, it's really, really good. And it's that kind of Alanis where it's just, it's a little bit like, I got one hand in my pocket, where she's not screaming. It's just like her singing,
Right.
Good lyrics, good tune, basic guitar, like nothing crazy. But just a really great song. So I would highly recommend watching Jagged on HBO Max about Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill, and then listen to Hands Clean. Do you have a favorite from Jagged Little Pill?
I don't. I didn't hate her music, but I don't think I owned any of it.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's 95. Mm-hmm. So in 95, you're what?
I'm 25. I'm dental
college?
school. I'm second year dental school.
Oh, you're in dental school.
So
in 95, I'm 16. So, we're a little bit apart in age. So I think that changes a little bit, because Jagged Little Pill is obviously a little bit more rebellious and whatnot. And at 25, you're probably not, did you have a kid at that time?
Not yet.
Not yet. But you were married and or engaged or close?
I'd been married for 2 years at that point. So.
Okay. Yeah, so I could see how it probably wasn't your deal.
Yeah.
But if you go back and listen to it, it definitely is. It's definitely like transport. It's definitely a time machine back to like a different time, right? Because that music doesn't get made anymore. But the fact that that's the number one album in the world for like 2 years is crazy. And the fact that that she's probably at that point in 95, 96, the best known female musician in the world is like, that will never happen again. Like we've talked about this before with Counting Crows, right? There was some point the Counting Crows were the biggest music band in the world. And like that music, like it's too fragmented now, we'll never get there. And that music will never be there again. The same thing is true of this. We'll never see a female artist reach heights like this. Beyonce's the only one that's ever come close since then. And even that, like she's never sold the number of albums that Jagged Little Pill sold, but it's hip hop, right? And so, rock will never get to this height again. And I would say this has got to be like the pinnacle. This is the apex, like this time period, 92, 93, 94, 95, even into 96. Like that's the pinnacle, I think, of rock and roll. Like it doesn't ever get any higher than that, where the biggest bands in the world are all rock bands. The biggest radio stations are all rock stations. The biggest festivals are all rock-based festivals. Lollapalooza, all that shit, Woodstock, 99, all that, you know, that never happens again. That will never happen again. That moment is gone. And I think Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill really captures that moment. That, like, to me, it just feels like 1995 when I listen to it. And so I challenge you to hop on Spotify or Apple Music, listen to it front to back like an album, like you listen to it. And I'd like to know your thoughts on it, because it's actually really fucking good. It's really fucking good. It was also one of those CDs. It's a CD I remember. It had a secret song. You remember that? Where you'd have to wait. The only way to get the secret song is like you look at it and you'd be like, fuck, the last song is like 17 minutes, but it actually is only 3 minutes, but then it's like 15 minutes of silence, like get to the secret song or whatever. That's something kids today will never fucking understand that.
I'm trying to explain to my kids.
Like,
they're like,
did you hear the secret song? You're like, what? No. And like you'd have to go and then go home and then like fast forward through it to find it, because you would have turned it off, you know, before that. That was, again, that's something that people will never, kids today in the digital world will never fucking understand that. So, I don't know. I'd also be interested in your daughter's take on it. If they've ever heard it, if they've listened to it, because they're kind of that age where I think they would identify with a bunch of shit on it, and showed a lot of a modern Alanis, very sort of suburban soccer mom looking, bangs and all, like, you know, blouse with leggings on, you know, just very like suburban mom that's like going to drop her kids off for fucking Parents' Day out, you know, in a Toyota Sequoia, you know, when they while they run to the grocery store or something. Like, just looks like suburban soccer mom. And like, this is the girl who screamed, you know, would she go down on you in a theater, you know, a scant 20 years ago. But anyway, really good movie, really good doc. Highly recommend it. And just fucking good music, man. It really is. Like, it stands the test of time. It really does. Not everything does. I don't feel like in 20 years we'll be watching HBO Max and watching a documentary about Cardi B and wet ass pussy. Like, I don't think it's gonna come on. I don't think we're gonna have that.
There's not
gonna be watching a lot of documentaries about the WAP. For Lance Timmerman, I'm Josh Waston. Peace. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
If it weren't for your maturity, none of this would have happened. If you weren't so wise beyond your years, I would have been able to control myself. If it weren't for my attention, you wouldn't have been successful. And if it weren't for me, you would never have amounted to very much. This could be messy, but you don't seem to mind. And don't go telling everybody, and don't overlook this supposed crime. We'll fast forward to a few years later, and no one knows except the both of us. just keep this to ourselves and not tell any members of our inner posse. I wish I could tell the world, cause you're such a pretty thing when you're done up properly. I might wanna marry you one day if you watch that weight and you keep your firm body.